channel. This is Teacher Ryan, and we're now in the episode 2 for this subject-verb agreement exercise. So today we'll be talking about compound subjects. But before anything else, if you are new in this channel, don't forget to click and subscribe this video. And if you have any suggestion, recommendations, or some clarifications, you can just write your comments below and let's see how it works. So as you can see here on the board, I have 10 sentences and we will analyze how the subject reflects correctly to the verb. So what is compound subject? So basically a compound subject has two subjects joined by the conjunction and some other things like the use of or, either, neither, and some other things. So let's start. So as you can see here, my shoes and ankles were covered with mud after dirt biking. So let's first identify where is the subject here. So if you look at the word, my shoes and my ankles are actually compound because it is joined by and. So this functions as plural. And since this is plural subject, it requires a plural verb. Was, were. Those are our choices. Was and were are past forms of is and are. Now, as you all know that was is a singular form of the past tense is, and were is a plural form of the past tense are. So, if you look at it, plural subject requires plural verb. So, were is the only plural verb between the choices. Covered with mud after dirt biking. Next, number 2. Mr. Lim and Mr. Lee, who runs a computer shop in town, have decided to expand their business. If you look at it, there are two subjects joined by the conjunction and. Mr. Lim and Mr. Lee. They are plural in form. Now, let's look at this one. Who is a relative clause. Who referring to the two, Mr. Lim and Mr. Lee. Who runs. As you recall, when you use run as a verb, this is a plural. Because plural verb in the present form does not end in S. However, runs with the S, singular. As we all know that a singular verb ends in ES or S. So since we have plural subject, Mr. Lim and Mr. Lee, who, so which of the two is correct? So plural subject with a plural verb. How a plural verb looks like? It does not end in S. So the correct answer is run, a computer shop. Okay, let's encircle first this one. So there will be consistency. Okay, next. Now, number 3. In your sentence, if the subject is joined by or, the rule is you have to choose the subject that is near to the verb. If you look at this one, Mike or his wife. These are our verbs. So these verbs are near to what subject? Mike or his wife. So if you look at it, his wife is near to the verb. So our subject here is his wife, but not Mike, because this is a conjunction. So according to the rule, once you have or in between subjects, you choose the second one. So his wife is singular or plural? singular. Very good. So basically, we will choose is rather than are. So that is the rule of the subject-verb agreement. So Mike or his wife is going to be responsible for this mistake. Number 4. So in this rule, once the sentence begins with either, it will introduce two subjects and it is joined by or. So either or. So that is what we call a coordinating correlative conjunction. Yes. So we have here, so in this rule, you have to choose the second one. Okay, that is nearer in the verb. So either the class president or the students. If you look at it, there are two subjects introduced by either. But according to the rule, if your sentence begins in either, there are two subjects, choose the second one. Same in the rule of or. So let's look at it. What is the second subject near to the verb? So we have the students. So students, it ends in S, plural. So we need a plural verb in the present tense. So how does a plural verb look like? It does not end in S. Very good. This side. Oops, we have to circle this. The plan. Neither the students nor the teacher. Same true to either or. Neither nor is a negative statement. So we have to choose the second one if the sentence introduces neither. Then two subjects joined by nor. So choose the second one. So what is the second subject of neither nor? The teacher. So teacher is what grammatical number? When you say grammatical number, it refers to the subject, it refers to the singular or plural. So teacher is singular and it requires a singular verb. How does a singular verb look like? It ends in S or ES. So seems is the correct verb that ends in S. She and I often hangs out at the mall and shops for hours. Now, she and I joined by N. Similar to number 1, joined by N. She and I often. So, she and I functions as plural. Why? She and I are two individuals. So, since this is the plural subject, we need a plural verb. And we know that plural verb, in the present form, it does not end in S or ES. So, hang is the correct answer. Out of the mall, and there are two actions that they did here in the sentence. They hang out of the mall, and since they are still part of the subject, plural, so it is connected to the second action, shop or shops. So shop, plural verb, shops is a singular verb. So to have consistency of their action, since we begin with a plural verb, we also need a plural verb on the second action. The correct answer is shop. So she and I often hang out at the mall and shop for hours. Now, if you look at this one, this is a question form. Have either my father or my brothers made a down payment on a new computer? So this is a question form. Now, a while ago, I said that when your sentence begins in either, you choose the second, neither, you choose the second one. But since this is in a question form, has and have, in a question form, you choose that is the first subject. Once it is a sentence, you choose the second one. But if it is a question form, like this, has either if either here is in the form of question, you choose the first. So in the statement, in the sentence, you choose the second once it begins with either. But in a question form, you have to choose the first one. So, my father or my brothers. So what is the first subject? My father is near to the verb. Has, have, either, my father. My father is singular in form and requires a singular verb. So this is our subject and this is our verb. Okay, Kuya Jojo or Darwin. Once your sentence joined by or in the subject form, so you have to choose the second one. Kuya Jojo or Darwin is our singular subject and we need a singular verb. How does a singular verb look like? It ends in S. Okay, very good. Repairs the conference room. Dipolog City and Butuan City joined by N, and these are two different cities in Mindanao. So basically they are plural and they require a plural verb. So the plural verb is are, not is, because we're talking two different cities. Lastly, we have a senator or a congressman. So since these subjects are joined by or, we choose the second one. A senator or a congressman, so our subject is congressman, but not a senator. So a congressman is a singular in form. It needs a singular verb. So singular verb is. Okay, are going to speak at the graduation rites. So as I recall, a compound or compound subjects are joined by N, or, either or neither or. But once it is joined by N, it functions as plural. But there are times that N can also function as singular, especially if we are referring that as a one unit. And that will be discussed next episode. So N here in compound subject is plural. Once your sentence begins with either or, you choose the second one. Same is true with neither nor, choose the second one. However, when they are formed in a question form, you choose the first. That is nearer to the verb. Then, once your subjects joined by or, you choose the second one. Okay. So if you have any clarification, question, recommendation, or any seemingly error here in my discussion, you're free to express your thoughts into written words, and let's settle down everything, okay? So if you are new here, don't forget to click and subscribe. See you in my next episode. Bye-bye!